Okay, I don't know what happened there. Apparently, they don't want us to talk about Iran or whatever. I'm not sure. We weren't even into that yet. So we'll give this a minute because right at the moment nobody's here. Well, we got one person here now. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I don't. So we'll just give it a minute for some people to jump in. The last show went really well with no problems, and you know we were very quickly into that one. And I'll probably go ahead and delete that first one, but I don't know what happened there. So anyway, we'll go over the thing again just so anybody that's jumping in now for the first time knows. Please be decent to each other in the chat. If you are not decent to each other in the chat, my moderators will boot you out of here. Okay, so please just be respectful. That's all that I asked. And if you can't be, like I said, those awesome people lit up in blue will boot you. So there you go. So, and hello everybody once again. I apologize. I don't know. It just all of a sudden the screen went pink and it went blank, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. So anyway, and again, after I'm done talking, yeah, don't say I ran, we ran, right? Exactly. After I'm done talking, if you have any questions, please, all cap lock so it stands out for me. Okay. So that being said, I wanted to address something really quickly, and that's what I was talking about when the thing went blank, before we get into the topic about Iran. All right, on the unrest of what's going on in Iran and what built up to it, where is it coming from, why is it happening, and what's going on. Okay, so anyway, as you guys know, recently I have been receiving a lot of things. Okay, a lot of things, way beyond my expectations that I could ever have hoped for. To be honest with you. I did not ask for any of these things. They were just sent to me, okay? This benefactor, who actually did comment in today's video that I put up, and if you go look through the comments, you will see, and I replied to her. It's a her. You will see that. So, how do I even... Okay, so some people want to do things and they're not doing it because they're looking for something out of it. And that's what I truly believe that this person is doing. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. And if you read her comment, and she explains very, very well why she's done what she's done and stuff like that. So if you would like to read that, please go ahead and do that. I am beyond grateful, like you have no idea. If you want to count today, just so you know exactly what came today, because like I said, I'm never going to try to hide everything. My mom was like, she's like, well, maybe you shouldn't show some of that stuff on. And I'm like, no, Mom, I'm always going to be honest. If somebody does something, I'm always going to be honest about it. So today, what came today was 60 cases of number 10 cans. And in each case is 6 cans. So that's, if you do the count, that's 360 number 10 cans. Okay. What do I think about COPA? And have you looked into it? I have not, John. I will have to. If you send me information in my email, I will check it out and I can give you my opinion on it. If you give me an email to preppernurse1 at yahoo.com, I would be glad to look into that. So I have no idea what you're talking about. So, but yeah, if you want to send me that information, I will check that out. Okay, so, but anyway, the child protection on YouTube. Oh, that's what he's talking about. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit. We will. I will talk about that in a little bit. Okay. So anyway, again, this person has done this out of the kindness of their heart. I'm beyond appreciative, like you have no idea. And when I started getting all this stuff in, and I will say it again today, this is going to go to help when the time comes. I have said right along that I plan on helping people, and I absolutely do, especially children. I absolutely do plan on helping people when the time comes. What my benefactor has basically done is guaranteed that I'm going to be able to help a lot more people than I ever thought I would be able to help. And that's an awesome, awesome thing. And so to her, again, thank you very much, because you are going to save a lot of people when the time comes. And I think that that's awesome. And so I am very, very grateful for that. Thank you for helping me put me in a better position, because I was planning on helping people anyway. just with the prepping that I had done. So with that person doing that again, thank you so much. Okay, so with that being said, and again, like I said, if you want to read in the video that I did earlier today, she comments in that video. Okay, and you can read that comment and you can see what she said and why she said what she said, because she's been reading the different comments just like I have. Okay, and people are going to have a varying view of what they want to say. All right, so let's get into the topic of the video title, which is Unrest Inside of Iran. Now, first of all, the first part of this, the main thing that's going on right now with Iran, it didn't just start. This all just didn't start. When Trump pulled us out of the agreement with Iran, this was the thing that started in the very, very first place. Are we on the brink of civil war here in 2020? We'll get into that too. I will talk about the other things, guys, but I really want to get on topic really quickly. And I want to do that first, and then we'll get into the other things about the Child Act thing that they're doing with YouTube and all those type of things. We'll get into those other things, okay? So anyway, so this all started when Trump pulled us out of that agreement and put sanctions back on Iran. So when you're putting sanctions on a country, okay, so so this is just going to give you an example. Iran was exporting 2 million barrels of oil a day before the sanctions. Since the sanctions, they're only been able to export 500,000 barrels a day. So you think, okay, yeah, it's not that bad, right? It's 700 or 75% decrease in revenue for that country. That's huge, okay? Trump is a puppet. You have your right to your opinion, Justin. That's okay. Doesn't matter. That's fine. But again, okay, so you go from that big of a drop in revenue, that's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect the people, okay? So what happened was the government, and here's, I think, the first mistake that they made with this whole thing, they decided to increase the price of gas by 50%. Now, you might think, oh my God, if they did that here, people would be rioting here too, which I think they probably would be, to be honest with you. But basically what they did is they raised the gas price up. They gave no warning to the general public that they were going to do it. All right. The gas prices in Iran are very, very low to begin with because they have so much oil and stuff like that. So their gas prices are very, very cheap. People are being squeezed in that country. And who gets, and I want you guys, first of all, before we get into more of this, who always gets affected by sanctions, by, tariffs and all those type of things? Who ultimately is affected the most? Okay. So think about it for a second. It's always the poor, because they're the ones that are always going to get squeezed the hardest. The rich are never going to suffer anything from anything because they're already rich, okay? But the poor are the ones that always are going to suffer the most. So I want you to think about that. So you have all these poor Iranians, and their gas went up in price by 50 cents. Or 50%, I'm sorry. So it basically raised their gas up to 50 cents. It's the equivalent to 50 cents a gallon, okay? Now, their dollar that they have in Iran, okay, right now is 123,000 to a dollar for the exchange for American, okay, compared to it was 32,000 to a dollar before the new sanctions went into place. So that right there, their dollar has been devalued greatly, against our dollar. So you got that on top of the fact that now the government is looking to get revenue because they're getting squeezed because they're only exporting at a capacity of 25% of what they were exporting before. So you had these protests all over Iran because of this. In more than 100 cities, there was protest, okay? And so what did the government do? Now, I want you to think about this. This is a government agency, and you're going to think, oh, well, it's a horrible Iranian government. These are governments all over the world will do the same thing. It's going on right now. The same thing is going on in Hong Kong right now, okay? But what happened is they shut down the internet. Now, parts of the internet are back up now, okay, in Iran. But they shut down the internet so that information wasn't getting out, and then they wielded a heavy hand. And according to Amnesty International, more than 100 people have been killed. With protesters have been killed because the government did a hard line and they went out and they started shooting people. Okay, they weren't going to play the game. So anyway, that's what's going on. The protesters are burning banks. They're burning police stations. There's been gas stations that have been burned. So, people are upset, and it's rightfully so if you think about it. I mean, you think about your dollar's been devalued greatly, number one, and then they're going to jump up a gas tax on you, 50%, or I keep saying, 50% increase in the gas price. That's, people are going to get upset, and it's very, very understandable. So the access to information and, making communication more difficult, that's what's going on with that. Just an average Amir who enjoys helping. A little respect to you with much thank you for what you do. Thank you, Mountain Girl. Thank you very much. Oh, average American. Okay. I was like Amir, A-M-E-R, American. Okay. Thank you very much, Mountain Girl. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But again, guys, we're having a lot of issues with that over there. And again, so who ultimately, think about it, ultimately who's behind it? Oh, that's right. We are, because that's what we do. We love to stir that pot. But again, unfortunately, it's affecting people all over there. And I've talked about this before. I said the average Iranian, just like the average American, does not want war. We don't want to go to war with Iran. I don't want to go to war with Iran. I have nothing against Iran. Do they have a bad government? Sure. Do we have a bad government? Yeah. So, it's just, and again, unfortunately, the people that are in charge and in control want to stay in charge and in control. And so a lot of time the protesters have a tendency to be the young, disenfranchised people that are upset, they're not getting ahead in life, and it's hard and it's difficult. And so you're going to see that unrest. You absolutely are going to see that unrest. So it's unfortunate. It really, really, truly is. And again, I feel bad for the people having to deal with that over there. And I get the protest. The way that the government is handling it is not great. I actually just was watching a video before I came on for here, and it was with Hong Kong, and it was protesters, and the one police officer shot a guy point blank right in the stomach, and that was it. And then there was, they had the video and stuff they were showing. Horrible situation. And you could tell that the one protester that they were dealing with, he was dead. He was absolutely dead. Young person, probably in their 20s. Life just starting. Complete waste. It's a waste of life as far as I'm concerned. But, what are you going to do? I mean, it's like they're trying to make a change. They're trying to stand up for themselves. And those people that are in control don't want that to happen. And so they're going to squash it. It's just, if you don't think that happens here every single day, it happens here every single day, every day. Okay, so, but anyway, it's a terrible situation for the people, not for the government. The government, they're going to still have their money. They're still going to do what they're going to do, but it always trickles down, and it affects the average citizen, just like here. When they do things, when they continue to, raise taxes and gas taxes go up and everything else and the whole 9 yards, it's a squeeze. And at some point, the American people are going to finally have enough of it. And I'm curious to see what that is going to be. China isn't king. China's pretty tough. China's no joke. I'm going to tell you that right now, but, yeah, the hike-in the hike-in gas tax over in France that started the Yellow Vest protests. People are tired of it, guys. People have had enough, and it's not. And I'm really curious to see what will be that breaking point in the United States. I really am very, very curious for that, because you are seeing people that are really all over the world are getting to that point, and people have had enough. And, the government plays their games. And I'm going to tell you what, China has shown unbelievable restraint with the situation in Hong Kong because they don't want to look like the bad guy. That's what it comes down to. So, you're going to see it get worse and worse. I feel that that's coming, and it's a snowball effect. Realistically, it's a snowball effect, and I think people are at that point. They really, truly are. So I think you're going to see more of that. You're not going to see less of it. You're going to see more of it, and I think you're going to see it here in the United States. I don't know what kind of scale it would be here, but depending on what they were doing or what kind of games they were playing. I mean, you look at what's going on right now with the government, okay? It is the biggest fiasco I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. They have spent the last 3 years trying to get rid of the president with the whole Russian collusion hoax, which is exactly what it turned out to be. And now this whole thing on this impeachment is all, and this is what kills me. If this was in school, if this was in a high school, they would tell people to just knock the crap off because it's hearsay. Everything is hearsay. Well, or their opinion. Well, my opinion is that it was this, or my opinion is that it was a. Your opinion don't matter. Who cares what your opinion is? If you're going to try to impeach the president, you better have hard facts. And they never expected the president to release the phone conversation, which he did, which showed nothing. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So it's a more dog and pony show and bells and whistles, and let's continue to play games and waste time instead of focusing on what needs to be focused on, which is taking care of the American people. So the U.S. isn't king either, and neither one of them are. Like I said, it's so anyway. So let's talk about real quick. Somebody had asked about this new thing that YouTube is rolling out. If your video is made for kids. So I'm not making my videos for children. They're not for children. So I put, no, they're not for kids. Now, is my videos family friendly and could kids watch my videos? Of course they can, but it's not, my videos are not for children. I'm not designing my videos for children. So that's what I put in the thing when I read it, and I had to click on, what I put that I'm not making my videos for children. So, but, oh my God, making you responsible, unreal. Exactly. I really don't see what the problem is. I really don't, to be honest with you. It's, if you just, there's a lot of stuff going on, guys, with YouTube that are targeting children. It happens all the time. You have people that are working on grooming children constantly, okay? So, maybe they're trying to weed that out. I'm not concerned about it because I'm not doing anything negative to hurt children or anything like that. So I don't know what people think. I don't know. It's like, oh, everything's changing December 10th. They're just going to take down channels. I don't think that's the way it's going to be. I really don't. So Twinkies is gone. I didn't even see what he was saying, so I totally missed what was going on. But thank you for taking care of that, JJ. Yeah, and you're always going to have it. I mean, it's like they feel these trolls. I don't know why they feel like they can come in here and I'm going to just say what I'm going to say. Oh, good for you. And then you'll be gone. That's it, So anyway, so I haven't done it yet, guys. So I got to do it. We got almost 500 people in the chat. If you haven't done so yet, if you could shoot me a thumbs up. I see we're at like 144. Because you got to understand, it really irritates my trolls that I ask for a thumbs up. So if you would do that, great. I just like to see what kind of number we can get to. We hit Wednesday, we hit 400. So, the record, oh my God, what the record is 764 now for thumbs up. That's the record. And we got that like last week, I think it was, we got that. But anyway, Twinkies was always a second-rate snack anyway. Oh, I don't know about that. Twinkies are a good snack. So, yeah. So anyway, so as far as the whole thing with YouTube changing their policy on that, I think people are trying to read more into it than is there. I really do. So we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I don't think Yeah, censorship will be the end. Yeah, you're right, and I don't think it's about censorship. I think it's more of, like I said, trying to make sure what channels are kid friendly and which ones aren't. And I'm not kid friendly. So, but I'm not making my videos geared towards children, and that's what they're asking in that statement. Are you making videos geared towards children? Well, my answer to that is no. I'm gearing my videos for adults, and so that's all that is. So, I mean, if there's more to it, I guess we'll find out. But I really don't think that there's more to that. Okay, so, and then somebody else had asked a question. I'm trying to remember what the other question was now that somebody had asked. I knew there was that, and then there was something else. Yeah, trolls go back to mommy's basement. That's right. Mama's got to make you a sandwich. What do I think about the Cascadia subduction zone? That's definitely something to be concerned about. Of course, those are things you want to pay attention to. All those things, guys. Any kind of fault lines anywhere that have a history, it means that they're going to go again. They know the Cascadia fault line will go again. They know it will. It's a matter of time. So we just all we can do, guys. And I've talked about this over and over and over again. All we can do is preppers and off-gridders and that type of thing is we continue to get ready. And if we can continue to get ready, that's all we can do. Prepare the best that we possibly can. When something happens, then we deal with it then. Actually, one of your videos reached 800, Julie said. Oh, as far as thumbs up went? I don't think it was 800 before we got offline. I think it was like 764 when I signed out. But that was like the highest. Well, we had a huge crowd that night, which was pretty cool. But Prepper Nurse, you have become my inspiration, Noble. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. My thing is, guys, and it's like, I don't do what I do to try to scare you. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to scare anybody. I want you to be proactive to help yourselves. Prepping and getting ready for whatever. It's not about fear. It's about being ready, about being prepared. Like I told you guys, and I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it again tonight. My wake-up call was Hurricane Katrina, and it was just a like that kind of moment for me. And I said, my God, we cannot rely on the government to help us. We better help ourselves. And at that point, my kids were very young. And I'm like, how could I look at my children? Insurance, exactly, Ernie, exactly. It's exactly what it is. I said, how could I look at my children and said I did not have the foresight to think ahead, to think in case of that emergency happened, that I wasn't prepared to help them. And again, guys, an emergency, an SHTF event doesn't have to be the end of the world as we know it. It doesn't have to be a statewide event. It doesn't have to be a county event or a town event. It could be in your life event. It could be loss of a job, sickness, death of a breadwinner. All those things are SHTF events. And I'm going to tell you what, every one of us, guys, every one of us has something going on in our lives right now that's upsetting, that is, something to be concerned about. Everybody does. Everyone. Okay. Nobody's life is perfect. You look at these celebrities, okay, and they're plastering these people all over the place all the time, and they're miserable. They're doing drugs. They're unhappy. And you would think that they would be happy, but they're not. Okay. It's just, there's always something going on in people's lives. So when things are going on, we need to be prepared and be ready for any kind of contingency. And that is what prepping is about. It's not about, oh my God, I'm going to hide in a cabin on the top of a hill and wait for the world to end. That is not what prepping is about. It's not what it's about at all. It's about, for me, it's a twofold thing. I want to be as independent as I possibly can be. So that's why I live off grid. Okay, that's why I have my own solar system. That's why I will continue to work on things here, to develop things, to make myself as self-sustaining as I possibly can. Okay, so that's one of my main things. And the second thing is I prep for the unforeseen. We never know what's going to happen. Did anybody get any warning in the 1400s? I think it was the 1400s when the Black Death came. Did anybody say, "Well, hey, listen, guys, Black Death is coming. Everybody get ready"? No, it just happened. When something happens, it's going to just happen. And so, those are things that we all need to think about. Let's see. Are Twinkies part of my prepared food supplies? No, they are not. I don't have Twinkies in my stuff. No, but Twinkies I heard last really long time. But no, I do not have Twinkies. That's funny. Did you see Adam's video calling in about the Cascadia? I did not. I did not see his video on that. No, I did not. I actually, you know what I've been doing today? I was unloading 60 boxes off a pallet in my driveway, getting it all in the house, and then trying to get it all put away. That's what I was doing today. That's why I never made a second video. I'll tell you what, it kicked my butt. I got my workout today. I'll tell you that right now. But Twinkies will survive in NBC, The Simpsons says. Okay, yeah, if The Simpsons say, then we're good. Yeah, because Simpsons are definitely, know what's going on. Do you still wish you had the trailer for storage? No, Kevin, I don't. There was a lot of water damage in the front end of the trailer, and it was leaking. And so there's a lot of, mold and stuff like that. And, so I have a nostalgic feel for the trailer because that's what we started out when we first got here. I would rather put a building in here, another building, and and have that with a metal roof so that I didn't have to worry about leaks or anything like that again. So if I had to do it all over again, the first thing I would have done with that camper was put some kind of a roofing over the top of the trailer so that it wouldn't have gotten the weather if I had to do it all over again. But again, hindsight is 2020. But at the time it served its purpose, and literally the last year that we had it really was just about storage. That's all we had in there was just storage. So with cleaning everything up this year, I opened up a lot more storage, and thank goodness I did that because I got a lot more stuff now. So have you ever been discriminated for being a prepper, Ed? I called names. Well, people make fun of you. They think it's a joke. Yeah, of course. So, but you know what? I always said this, and this is what I want you guys to think about. All of you guys out there that are prepping, and family and friends will joke and they'll poke fun at you, okay? We're the crazy ones until something happens. Then we're the smartest people in the room. And then the best part is, who are those people that laughed and made jokes and stuff about you? Where are they going to go? They're going to come to you, okay? And then you have a decision to make at that point. And again, are you going to be petty, or are you going to help? Again, that is exactly what we need to think about, because it's a choice. And like I said, my choice is to help with a lot of I told you so's. You know what I mean? So I will definitely say that over and over and over again. I will tell them, see, I told you I was right, wasn't I? I want you to hear me say I was right. So I'll do that, but I will do it in a joking way because that's just the way I do it. You know what? People are going to think what they're going to think. If they want to think that we're crazy and everything else, let them. Who cares? I think they're crazy for not being prepared. So there you go. So that's just the way I see it. Hey, Ed, Ozzy Prepper has finally been able to join the chat. Yay. Oh, very cool. Well, welcome, Ozzy Prepper. Let's see. Plenty of Mountain Dew and Twinkie, so I'm all set. Bring on SHTF. That's funny. Yeah, Mountain Dew. Oh, my God. Talk about straight sugar. That is, yeah. Woo. Can't drink it. I can't even drink regular Coca-Cola. It's got way too much sugar. So many things to store for preps. You're right. You know what, Joel? You are absolutely right. It's a never-ending thing. Once you think you're getting ahead of stuff, then something else comes up, and you think, man, I didn't think of that. I need to do that. So there's always something else to add. Storage space, figuring logistics, having maps, all those type of things. It's There is everyday solid proof that the unexpected disaster will happen. Absolutely, Terrence. You're exactly right. You look what happens in this country. We're just going to use the United States, guys. On any given day, you're going to have mudslides, fires, flooding, hurricanes, tornadoes, snowstorms, ice storms, and that's just to name a few. Okay, those things happen all the time. So it blows me away that more people don't go, hey, I really should get ready for this. That's what I find absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. I see we got like 500 people in the chat, and we are at 260 on the thumbs up. So, while my husband put on a move, I told him Ed was on. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're, I'm going to tell you what, guys, you have no idea how much pleasure I get sitting down here with you, chatting. I really, truly enjoy it. I really, truly do. Oh, I do want to mention, because it started today, I got an email from Legacy, and they're doing their Black Friday thing, which starts today, which runs through the 1st of December, okay? The meat package combo they have on the website. It's normally $399.99. They got it right now for $249.99. So it's $150 savings. Hey, Schmitty, for your bigger barn. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something, that's for sure. But so it's $150 saving on that meat combo bucket. So you get the beef and you get the chicken in there. And so if you are interested, please go to my website at prepreneurs1.com. And it's right up there. You will see it. And so if you are looking to add to your freeze-dried food storage, it's a great opportunity, a great way to add to it. And it's, like I said, it's $150 savings. It's the only Black Friday thing that they're going to be doing, and it's started today, and it's going to go through the 1st of December. So just putting it out there for you guys. If you are interested, go and check that out. Okay. So, but unfortunately, Legacy does not ship to the UK or Canada. They do not go out of the country. So it's unfortunately they don't do that. So I'm sorry. If a major SHTF happens, I really hope it's not from an EMP. I'm with you on that. I hope it's not that either, to be honest with you, especially with my solar system. If it was a grid down situation, that's perfect for me. Because I'm still going to have power. But, but the best part is with that, the amount of people I would be able to help would even be bigger because, people would want to have charging things up and stuff like that. And absolutely, so that would be a good thing. What do we got? How to deal with disabled people that need medication in SHTF. You know what? That's a tough call. If it's life-saving medication, unfortunately, when that life-saving medication runs out, those people's life expectancies are not going to be long. That's the reality of it. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's true. It's what are you going to do? So just wanted to, we're going to try to do the best we can for people, obviously, but not everybody's going to make it. Very, very healthy, strong people are not going to make it for a couple of reasons. They don't have the fortitude for it. They don't have the determination, and they'll give up, and they'll be perfectly healthy. And I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see some disabled people because of the situations that life has dealt them. If they don't need life-saving medication, you're going to see some people in wheelchairs that are going to be right there. They're going to thrive, and they're going to do just fine. That is the reality because everybody's not going to make it. And, JJ says the elderly and disabled. Well, here, if you have, like your dementia folks, they got no shot. They have no shot unless family's taking care of them. If family's not taking care of somebody that has dementia or somebody who's bedridden, and if it's not family taking care of them, they have absolutely 0% chance of making it. That's the reality. It's sad. It's not right. Think about this. Think of all the different preemies in the hospital that are on machines because they were born too soon. Think of all the people that are in hospitals getting treatments for cancer. Think of all the people that have to have dialysis. Think of all the people that are on ventilators. You're talking about a 100% attrition rate. That's it. I mean, that's the reality. So unless you have your loved one at home and you are taking care of them at home, they're not going to make. Think about all the mentally retarded people that we have out there that are in facilities. Okay, if their family members don't come and pick them up and take them home, they're not going to make it. They're just not. That's the reality. That unfortunately is the reality, and you unfortunately have to compartmentalize at that point. Okay, so who has a better chance of surviving? So who do you help? If you have that person that is a special needs person that is, wearing a diaper and banging their head against a wall, and, or you got this kid over here, this perfect, and I hate to use the word normal because who's normal, but physically, let's say physically, this child over here who's physically okay, but is not eating and not having enough to eat. Who are you going to feed? I mean, those are hard choices that are going to have to be made. And I want you guys to think about that because it may affect you. It absolutely may affect you. That is why it's wise to have key people in your group. I agree with you, Choo Choo. You have to have, like I said, it takes a village. It's going to take a village to survive what's coming. I've said it over and over and over again. Lone wolves are not going to make it. You better group up or try to find people to work with right from the very beginning if you can. I mean, you look at, and it's a show and I get it, but you look at The Walking Dead and strangers came together and they worked together for good or bad, okay? And that's the reality of what it's going to be like. You're going to have groups of people that are going to band together for the simple fact to survive. They're going to have to work together. You're going to not see a lot of pettiness then. You're not going to see people laying around and doing nothing because the people that are laying around doing nothing are not going to be there. They're not going to be there. So, Negan. Yeah, I am Negan. So, but yeah, it's just, what are you going to do? I mean, you have to look at the realities of the way things would be. And it would be a very, very terrible. And again, it really depends on what the SHTF event would be. If you're in the subduction zone, let's say you live in the subduction zone and that happens, that's going to be a horrible, horrible situation for the rest of the country as well. But for the people that are directly affected, let's say you're in St. Louis and all of a sudden the whole thing just collapses down and, that sand turns into quicksand for whatever amount of time, all that type of stuff. You're going to talk about a lot of people that are going to die very, very fast. And then it's going to be, trying to get bridges open and bridges built and engineers in there and working on stuff. I mean, people have no idea. They just really have no idea. Would solar survive an EMP? No, the charge controller, inverter, all that would be fried. Unless you had a backup, Yellowstone eruption equals bye-bye if you're near it. Yeah, well, that's absolutely. It could be, but depending on the severity of a Yellowstone event, it could be bye-bye to the world as we know it. So, that's the reality too. It puts us into a volcanic winter, and you would be looking at years of very little sunlight because of so much stuff being put up into the upper atmosphere. So, yeah, well, again, Yellowstone would be global depending on how severely it erupted. Yes, so. People are already on drugs now. Well, there's a lot of people that are, that is for sure. And those people aren't, you're hardcore drug users, guys, in an SHTF event. Your meth heads, your crack heads, your heroin users, they're not going to have a long life expectancy. Absolutely. And unless they, they're going to have to go cold turkey, get clean, and it's not because they want to, it's because they have to. And a lot of them won't make it because of that. They just won't. So it wouldn't be pretty. That would just exacerbate the problem. It would just make it absolutely worse. So Will a LED flashlight work after an EMP? A flashlight, I don't know if that would or not, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it would or not. Again, if you don't, okay, so if you have flashlights and you don't have the batteries in the flashlights, I think it probably will still work because there would be no reason for anything to go into it and fry anything because there'd be nothing there. The power source wouldn't be there. So, yeah, after an EMP, it's a Stone Age. You're exactly right. So, yep, somebody just said pharmacies would be rated. Oh, I'm going to tell you what. Pharmacies, grocery stores, gun stores, they would all be raided very, very quickly and cleaned out very, very quickly. And so, that's why, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I do that a lot. I'll say things over and over again. When SHTF happens, this is what I want you to think about because this is really important. When SHTF happens, you have what you have. There's no more going to the store at that point. So to be as prepared as we possibly can be, and then planning on either getting to your bug out location or hunkering down, whatever your game plan is, and then have that plan and follow through with it. Again, it's just, I'm going to try to ride it out. That's my goal with my group, with the people up here in my neighborhood, working together and try to ride out whatever's coming. So that is my game plan. And if somebody comes and tries to do anything bad, they will be dealt with accordingly. That's just the way it's going to be. So druggies will die from withdrawal alone. A lot of alcoholics will be the same thing. Your hardcore alcoholics, they will die from withdrawal as well. Are you okay without your kids? Are they okay? Oh yeah, they're both doing fine. I just saw both of the kids on Thursday. We went and had breakfast, and so I talked. And somebody had asked me, "Have you talked to your son since he left?" I talked to my children, both of them, every single day. I talk to my kids every day. So they're both fine. They both know if something happens, they know where they need to come to. And again, and people have asked me about that with the ex-wife. Would I let her come into the group at that point? And absolutely, there's some mother of my children. So, some people are going to hold on to things and hold on to hatreds and stuff like that. I just, I would let her in because of my children. She would have to toe the line and do her share of work like everybody else. There would be not less expectations from her as opposed to anybody else. So, that would be the way it would be. And so, whoever comes in, there's no free rides after SHTF, and that includes me. So I don't want you to think, anybody, and there's members of my group that know, we do things together. When there's something to do, we all pitch in, we all help. So it's not like when SHTF happens that I would be like, okay, now you do this and you do that, and I'm going to sit in this chair. That, first of all, it's not my style. I would never do. I'd lose my mind doing that. But it's about just taking care of business, and everybody works, and there's always going to be a job for everybody, young, old, whatever. It doesn't matter. So. Yeah, what are we at? 306 on the thumbs up, guys. Guys, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, we got to get this well over 400 because we just got over 400 last time, and it's already 8:45 already. Wow. So yeah, if let's see how close over. Well, let's get over 400 first. Let's jump that up there. So if you haven't done so, please shoot that thumbs up. People will leave nursing home patients. If it gets bad, same with the hospitals, nurses won't stay. You're right, Ricky. They absolutely will not stay. So, you're going to have, people are going to go. It's just like the cops. Cops, firemen, emergency personnel, they're going to go home and they're going to take care of their families, as they should. Their obligation to help anybody else at that point is over, especially depending on the severity of an SHTF event. That's the reality. If you have somebody that doesn't have any family, they may choose to stay. But I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see very few, and it's already shown it over and over again. You look at the different places in Florida when they had the hurricanes come in, and the nursing staff just took off. And it's not nothing to laugh at, but that's the reality. That is reality. When it comes to self-preservation, people are going to think of themselves first. Asthma remedies after SHTF. There is definitely remedies for asthma. If you get those books I talked about with herbal medicine, and if you see here's what I would absolutely encourage anybody to do. If you have any kind of ailments or problems, if you have high blood pressure, if you have, treatable diabetes other than with insulin, any of those type of things, look for alternative medications that you can use in an SHTF situation to help you to survive. That's really, really important. So, just police and military personnel will not do the same will do the same at some point. Of course, yeah, absolutely they will, and a lot sooner than people think. I'll be honest with you, because you think about the fact. What about COPD? There's not really a whole lot you can do about that. There's really not a whole lot you can do about that, cat. So, sauerkraut. Oh, very nice. Tubular Guy 9's making sauerkraut. I'm not really a big fan of sauerkraut, and I'm, partly German, so not my thing, but that's okay. Sauerkraut and cabbage. Or no, it's made with cabbage, but sauerkraut and what do they always have with it? God, I can't think of it, but somebody's going to say it on here. What goes with sauerkraut, guys? Sausage? Is it sausage? No, there's something else with it. I'm the same way, Mountain Girl. Sauerkraut was never my thing. Oh, corned beef and cabbage is another one. That's the one I was thinking of, not sauerkraut. I was thinking corned beef and cabbage. Don't like that either. So, now guess what? If I'm starving, it's going to be delicious. That's reality. If you're starving, it's all good. So, corned beef and cabbage is awesome. Well, you go ahead. You can have my share. Yeah, I don't mind potato pancakes. I'm going to tell you what. I am game for trying anything. I'll try. I've had shark. So, and actually shark was really good. But I just, as far as some things, I just, we all have our likes and dislikes. And I just definitely not into that. So, smoked sauerkraut and mashed taters. Okay, well, I'll have the potatoes. I have the mashed potatoes. Nettles are good for asthma. Sean Wheeler just said that. Okay. Cabbage can be grown in the winter and keep it where it's planted. Yeah. Cabbage, kale, those are really good cold weather crops. So, snake is just like chicken. Yeah, a lot of things are just like chicken. I've heard that. Yep. Let's see. Pork roast with sauerkraut. Okay. Now everybody's going on about the sauerkraut. Stop with the sauerkraut. It's too funny. No, sauerkraut is not for me. You're not gonna ever see me making sauerkraut if I don't have to. Now I like coleslaw. Now how weird is that, right? I like coleslaw, but not just. I don't know. Epilepsy. Epilepsy is. I don't know if there's any. There's got to be some kind of other medications that you can take for epilepsy that are natural. Again, do your research. Find out what works. I mean, if you have something that you need to have that for, I would definitely say you better stay on top of it. So, let's see. City squirrel. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of squirrels in the city, but they would be not a whole lot of them real quick. I can tell you that right now. Have I ever had broccoli slaw? I have not. And I like broccoli. I like broccoli raw, cooked, don't matter. I like them both ways. Let's see. Can't find squirrel in the winter. Well, they're all up in their little their nest that they have way up in the trees. Rats. Well, that's what squirrels are. Squirrels are rats with big fluffy tails. I don't know if anybody knew that, but just so you know, that's what squirrels are. But yeah, if it comes down to that situation, you would absolutely eat rats. You'd eat whatever you had to. So. Oh yeah, long gone, Justin. Long gone. So frog legs taste like chicken too. I've heard that as well. I've never had frog legs, but I've heard that they taste like chicken as well. What do we got? They eat weird stuff on Naked and Afraid. Well, like I said again, Sandy, when you're hungry, you'll pretty much eat anything. So, and that's what people do. They don't realize that now, but when you're hungry, whatever's there, you're going to eat it. Amish will be the real Amish mafia during SHTF. It's that's kind of it depends on what level of what the Amish do. I think that a lot of people would try to take advantage of them in that situation. If an armed group comes in there, how are they going to defend themselves realistically? So those are scary things to think about. But again, if you're making those connections, you could make those connections that way too. Planning on working with them, offering security in exchange for food or whatever, or horses or whatnot. So again, there's going to be things that are going to be available to do in a post event that you are going to be able to. Again, it's not about just surviving; it's about thriving, and that's the biggest thing. And for me, I always look at it like the transition period in an SHTF event is going to be the biggest adjustment. So if you can make that as easy as possible, yeah, there's not going to be any internet. You're not going to have a cell phone and all that type of stuff. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about that. But if you can still take a hot shower, if you can still have a hot meal, if you can still, be warm if it's wintertime or, somewhat cool in the summertime, those things is what you really want to focus on to try to keep that as normal as possible after an event, especially for the kids, because it's going to be a very, very big transition when that time comes. So a pair of rabbits will produce 400 pounds of meat a year. The only problem with that is it's very lean. There's not enough fat on that meat. And you're right about that. That would be a good thing to have. Rabbit is a good thing to have, but we need fat in our diet. So that is important to remember that as well. Yep. Yeah, rabbit is too low in fat to eat alone. You're right, exactly. So we need that fat in our diet. Would you eat your cats in an SHTF? Only if I had to. We've actually had that conversation. The kids and I have had that conversation. That's why I prep the way that I do, so I don't have to eat my cats. But if I had to, we already have an order of who we would eat first. That's the reality of it. You need to be realistic. But again, because of the way that I prep, I don't plan on eating my cats or my dogs. So, but if I had to, and if I was starving, absolutely. Practice bathing using a bucket. Oh yeah, or a big thing that you could put water in, like they used to do back in the 1800s or whatever. You have the big thing, and people would heat the water up on a wood stove, and you go and shower or bathe that way. You would see a lot of that. Those bowls that I got, guys, with the vases. Okay, there's your washing up. You got your washcloth, your bar of soap. Pour some of that hot water in that big vase and scrub down. That's how you would have to do it. Absolutely. Trying to stay as clean as possible is going to be very important. It says solar showers. Exactly. They have the solar bags. They're very, very good to have. Right. Good point, Mountain Girl. They're good to have too. You heat them up, put them out in the sun, and you got a nice hot shower. So any black bag, realistically, if you have a black bag or container, that's a great way to do it. Really, really good way to do it. So, all right, we got to do the push because we're at 366. So we got to do the push to get to 400 on the thumbs up. And so I'm going to do this at this time because this time is like flying by. I'm going to go a couple minutes after just because of the screw up that we had. And the first one stopped and I had to restart. So we'll probably go to a couple minutes after 9. But so We are Legion, guys. We are a huge, huge group of people. We are family. We're all over the world. We're all over this country. Preppers and off-gridders. Where's everybody from tonight? You got to tell me where you're all from. Extra hour. I am not doing an extra hour. We got Montreal, Canada, Sodas, Michigan, Ohio, Montana, Chicagoland, Raleigh, North Carolina, Linden, Texas, Western Massachusetts, South Dakota, New Orleans, North Carolina, Arkansas, BC, Canada, Brooklyn, New York. We got Pennsylvania, Spencer, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio, Howe, Texas, Hollywood, Pennsylvania, Farmington, New York, Maryland, Ohio, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Missouri, Australia, the Netherlands, very nice, Connecticut. Let's see, we got Arizona, Binghamton, New York, the UK, very nice, Oregon coast, very cool. Another UK, South Carolina, Maine, Columbus, Ohio, Vernon, Connecticut, Vienna, Austria, nice. Let's see, Middleburg, Florida, Ohio, Tennessee, South Central Missouri, the Ozarks, very cool. Michigan, Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin, very nice. Good team. Northern Maine, South Carolina. Let's see, Hickory, North Carolina, Edmonton, Kentucky, Franklin, Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, Atlanta, Texas, Morrisville, New York, Missouri, Rhode Island, Fort Lauderdale, Alabama, Indiana, Melbourne, Australia, very nice, South Carolina, Iowa. So, guys, we are all over the place, all over this country. And we're a big family. We really, truly are. And I say this all the time, too, and I'm going to say this again. When the time comes, we are the ones that can truly make a difference of who makes it and who doesn't, okay? Because we are the ones that are awake. Most people are not awake, as we all know. A lot of people laugh at us. Let them laugh. But when the time comes, we are the ones that are truly going to make a difference. And so, I want you guys to remember that. Simcoe, Ontario. Oh, very nice. Long Island, very cool. But yeah, so we can make a difference. We really, truly can. And I think we should try. So, everybody's not going to, and that's fine. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said it, and I'm going to say it over and over again. I'm going to try to help people if I can. I cannot help everybody. No, I cannot. But I will try to do my best to help people if I can. So, but like I said, they better be ready to pitch in and help, because there's no free rides after SHTF. You're not coming here sitting down on a couch and somebody take care of you. It's not how it's going to be. Grid down midwinter. Get ready now. Exactly. Make those plans, guys. Like I said, if you're in apartments, I would recommend tents that you can put in your bedroom and set up a tent in your bedroom to help keep that sleeping area where you're going to sleep warmer. If you can get those small stoves, they're not super expensive. Camping stoves, smaller camping stoves that you can vent out a window. There's another way that you could, stay warm. So, think ahead, plan ahead, have your game plan in place. Because what we want to do when SHTF happens, we don't want to react, we want to act. So you have your game plan in place, it happens, you realize that it's the real deal, and now you act. Oh yeah, we just did hit 400. Awesome. Very cool. So we're gonna go a couple minutes more, just so because this up here is at 59 minutes, and I know it's 9 o'clock, but we're gonna go a couple minutes over. As usual, good stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, but anyway, I was laughing at Douchebag's comment. He says, last chance for any sugar mamas to contact him now. That's pretty funny. But we should have an SHTF simulation. You know what? You can do that anytime you want. You could kill the power in your house and see what happens. That is the absolute easiest way to do it. You can find out, what your strengths are. Do it for a weekend. Plan a weekend to do that, and you'll find out real quick where your weaknesses are and your strengths are. And it's not a bad idea to do. Do test runs to get out to your bug out location. How long does it take you to pack up the cars? How much stuff do you have at your bug out location? Is it secure and hidden away at your bug out location? All those things come into play, because the last thing you want to do is get out to your bug out location and somebody else is already there. So that's a bad thing. That's not good. So, have those plans in place, guys. Really do that. It's the best way to do it. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank my moderators. My moderators are awesome. They do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean, and I do appreciate you guys. You do a fantastic job every time, and so thank you. And thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for the feedback. I enjoy these get-togethers. It's a family get-together here. And I didn't do this, JJ. So let me do this real quick because I didn't even drink any of it during the thing. Got my thing of green tea. I was drinking my regular tea. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys have a safe weekend. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. And we'll be live streaming again on Sunday. So look for us then. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. And that's important to remember because we really, truly are. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So to tell the people that you care about every day how you feel, that's a good thing. Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you. Again, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, do it now, please. I see we're at 410, which is awesome. So if last minute ones are always okay too. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.